no. But point being, yeah, so actually, this does bring me up. I sort of thought of a softcore goal I kind of want to hit before I take on season two. This isn't an official announcement or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking when I'm making around $600 on Patreon, that's when I like will definitely be considering doing season two.
Yeah.
Because of budget wise, I'll be in a lot more stable a position, and in fact, I'll probably be having some money going into savings, which means I can afford to actually pay some people to help me out with it. Because Anachronistic would not have gotten done without many people's help, and I have not been able to pay any of them. So I would like to be able to do that for season two. But it's been nice because everyone's been as excited about the project as I am. Well, okay, you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean because I also did work for free.
Mm-hmm. And but people who do work should be paid, just like I should be paid for when I do work.
Like no, on that, and it's a conversation that you and I have like scheduled. Is we should write an agreement that basically outlines if you start making money with Anachronistic at what the agreement should say at this specific number you implement a payment to the everyone that contributed to it of this amount per this level, the unit of contribution. And get it written which we should have done beforehand. Holy shit. But fortunately, everyone involved is a direct friend, which actually is very dangerous to do. You should be very, very cautious about involving anything money with a real friend. Fortunately, I feel like our level of financial maturity, our collective level of financial maturity is going to make this possible. Don't do it this way if you can hear me. Do this part first. And we'll bring this topic back up once we actually do that agreement. But that's how I think we should do it.
Mm-hmm. To a certain extent, I don't agree with the whole you should do it first. I know where you're getting at with that.
Okay, all right. Let me clarify. For most people that are going to do a thing with their friends that might involve money, it's probably a good idea to get the agreement down before. I think there are definitely groups of friends who could do not that, because the alternative is, no, don't worry about it, just do the fucking thing, which I also support.
The reason why I bring it up in particular is sort of like in the case of Fable in particular, we've always sort of had a favor trading thing involved. We don't really care about money in the same way, so long as we were both able to pay our bills.
Right.
I think that's ultimately healthier. Now, I do keep track of like Fable's got the rates for editing podcasts. Cassie's got her rates for editing script. I've kept track of that sort of thing. They do this professionally. I want to know how much work of theirs they've donated. And that's sort of how we've paid each other back in the same way. I hope Fable was your Kickstarter, and I'll be honest, I don't think that really covered all of what I owe Fable from this, but it covered a lot. There's something to be said for just trusting your friends, I think.
There is. But it sounds like you were able to, because I almost feel like you did do what I'm saying, because you and your friends have a repertoire and a understanding on this. So the cost of doing a thing, even if it wasn't written on paper, was established because of how long you've known your friends and how much you've like teamed up on things beforehand. And I think that's what enables this.
Yeah.
If you and I were not quite as good of friends, I would have insisted on a little bit more formal agreement before I did voice acting on a podcast. But, you know, I can't say exactly why. I can't quantify exactly what it is that the threshold is, like that friendship threshold. Because it's like, maybe it's like, you and I have, you know what it is? You and I have done money things before.
That's true. I also, like, one difference between you and me is, like, you're a lot more, like, you've got a lot more brain space dedicated to the what if this accidentally gets huge thought process than I do.
It is legitimately one of my fears.
I
am in this, the streaming and the art and all of it. I'm in this for a nice, gradual incline, you know? I'm in it for, you know, a new person, 2 new people. That's great. And just slowly the number goes up. I am actively scared of going viral and suddenly becoming huge. I'm okay with becoming very popular eventually. I just kind of want to pace it. And so, yeah, I am I'm actively like afraid of suddenly becoming 1,000 people when I'm at 10.
And I, like, in my soul, I don't believe that's possible to just instantly become 1 million.
Well, the thing is, if you instantly become 1 million, it is super not sustainable. Because that usually means they came in because of one thing that really hit, and then they come to see the rest of what you do and have a human reaction from that. Yeah, like it's that the spike is not sustainable, and it's like I'm actually a socially anxious person. I've just worked at it very hard for a very long time. That's what makes me confident out here. That sort of event would make me super self-conscious that, oh my God, so many people saw me, and then I start asking the questions. So, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't actually happen that way, but, there is a possibility of an event that I wouldn't like.
I really, in my soul, don't believe I will ever go viral.
I don't think I will either. I don't think
it's a. I mean, like I'm trying to describe just how, like, completely alien the thought of that happening to me is. Like I know, like, in my brain that it's a thing that has happened to people. And I'm not saying, like, I'm right to think this, but, like, it is impossible for me to fathom suddenly having even 1,000 people look at a thing I did out of nowhere. That's just not how the world seems to work for me. And I kind of think that's just sort of a difference in how our brains work.
Could be. I'm a very cautious person. I tend to hold back a lot of my behaviors and actions due to fear of what if.
Mm-hmm. I'm much more of a do thing but plan for it sort of person.
Yeah, I'm that too.
And